Media at Coach Mo Fall. I am the founder and the creator of the Kick-Ass Career Course Workshop. Not really a course, it's a workshop. We're working on you. So as the founder and creator of that career miracle-making, soul-moving process, I have watched hundreds. We've had almost 700 women through our workshop changing their lives and changing their careers over the past 5+ years that I've been doing this work, having come from a very big, very successful healthcare executive background. And when I was an executive, I had to make decisions all the time. Like probably in many days, minute by minute, I had to make decisions. And being a student of success and human nature and human behavior, starting out in my early days as a registered nurse in the cardiac care units of University of Pittsburgh Hospital as a young little pup, I noticed that there was very significant things around those people who were successful and those who weren't. And you can define success in any way that you choose to define success. Success to me means that you're emanating from a center inside of yourself where you're leading and living the life that you want. And I'm going to use the word leading the life that you want because so many women we talk to on our career clarity calls, and I've personally talked to thousands of women over the years, thousands and thousands. And we've only had about 700 women in our workshop because the women who are ready to significantly make change have 3 common traits. And they are able to leap over the biggest problem that most people have in having the lives that they want. They're able to leap over the biggest obstacle. And I'm going to tell you what that is. The biggest obstacle in changing your life and commanding a different future, which is what this week's series is all about. It's about commanding your future. And hello to Michelle and Anne-Marie, Keisha, Trisha, Elizabeth, hello everyone, nice to see you. The biggest problem that as human beings we face is not really seeing the consequences of our everyday actions because we normalize them. We normalize them and we find people around us who will normalize them with us. You don't really know what your life looks like until you have a clarity call. Those of you who have had clarity calls, am I right or am I right? Give me a yes indeed. You don't really know the hot water and the soup that you're in unless you have someone helping you see what you're really living in. And it's not that we are mean or nasty or anything. As a matter of fact, just the opposite. If you had a bad disease and you went to a doctor and the doctor said to you, don't worry, it's a bad disease, but you know what? It's just what it's going to be. You would say, really, doctor, that's what you're going to do? I have a bad disease? But you see, when your career isn't working out for you, you have a bad disease. And because of our human brain's mechanisms of rationalizing everything, yes, indeed, our brains are so great at rationalizing everything. Why? Because it's trying to protect us from feeling pain. I mean, that's just how we're built. Human beings are adaptive organisms, and as we have grown and evolved over the years, we have turned on ways of framing things in our lives that make it not so bad. Why in the world would you live with someone who didn't treat you well? Why in the world would you stay at a job for 12 years, being disrespected, overlooked, and not being given opportunities and being seen for who you are? Why in the world would a human being stay in a situation that is punishing? Why? There's only one reason. Because we normalize it. And then when we go gossip and bitch to our friends about it, they're like, I know, me too. And now you feel like you have comrades who understand you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's just like what I have at work. It must be normal. Oh, we must have to put up with it. So your biggest obstacle for having the life that you want is that you normalize the life that you don't want. I mean, boom, end of story. Why in the world would you normalize something that doesn't feel good? Why would you normalize a life that doesn't feel good, a career that's not paying you, boss, peers, colleagues that don't treat you well? Why would you normalize that? Why would you think it's okay? Why would you stay there? Tell me, please, someone, give me the reason why you stay in a situation like that. Because you normalize it. There's no way I can do better than this. I haven't interviewed in 12 years. How would I possibly get started? And you know what? That's exactly what we help solve. Because so many women are stuck in their careers, not happy, not living the truth of all that they bring to the table. I spoke to an attorney the day before yesterday. For a long time, actually, because, attorneys have to argue everything, really. Her career sucks. She went to get a master's degree in a whole nother discipline of law to try to make it better. Guess what? It didn't work. Now she's working in a big firm and she's telling them how many hours she'll work because she has 2 small kids at home. Guess what? No one wants to work with her. She's not going anywhere and she's getting less and less billable hours. She's a lawyer. She spent lots of money on her education and then more on that extra master's degree. And she's unhappy every single day in bringing that home to her kids and her husband. And I'm going to tell you the sad story of what happened. Breaks my heart. Happens all the time. She should be making $250,000 a year and being super duper happy. She should be living full and powerful and elegantly because she's smart and she knows law and she knows how to navigate all of that. But you know what? She struggles every day in a dark prison of her own making. Now, she didn't intentionally make this dark prison for herself, but she didn't know better. She didn't know how to do something different. As all of the women we've ever worked with, that's the case. It was my case 20 years ago. So she's created this dark prison of hell that she's living in, and she's been normalizing it over the years. But she knows she's not happy. That's why she booked a clarity call. And while I was showing her exactly what was going on, all that she could think about is, I don't believe it's possible because I've been living in hell. I don't believe it's possible. I don't believe it's possible. And then finally, she was able to possibly think about it as a possibility. And you know what? She was ready to have her life saved. And then unfortunately, she said, well, I have to talk to my husband. I said, really? You're an attorney with your own degrees, your own education, your own earning power. Guess what? Most loving husbands say to their wives, you can get another job on your own. You don't need someone to help you. So she's going to live in her dark prison over and over again. Because either she can't explain it to him, or she won't admit it to him, or she feels even less happy and successful that she wasn't able to pull herself out of the dark prison and into something more powerful. I feel bad, I really do. Unfortunately, it happens more times than it doesn't happen. And for those brave women who have said yes and then told their husbands, and their husbands look at them and say, finally, honey, you're doing something to help yourself. I've been waiting for you to step into something that would make you happy. And for all of you women who've been in my workshop, I want to shout out to your husbands. I'm sure they've seen a better woman. For those of you who are not in marriages, I know your friends and family have seen a better woman. Because you decided to step into something and stop rationalizing and normalizing the fear and the pain and the dark prison that you were living in. Bravo to you. Because here's the number one thought process that you have to have about making decisions for yourself. There are 3 orders of consequences of your decisions. 3. So that means there's basically 3 layers of what happens when you make a decision. The first one is the most likely obstacle in front of you. The reason why you haven't made the decision in the first place. That obstacle has to be overcome for you to get the benefits of your decision. And if you allow that first order of consequences of your decision to stop you, you will never get the benefits of your decision. Are you following me? This is really important to understand because, like an executive, you have to make decisions based on the power of the benefit and not on the power of the obstacle. Are you getting me? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down, Darcy Conley? Say it. When you make your decisions based on the power of the first order of consequences, which is always an obstacle, you will never get the benefit of the decision. You will not feel the power of the decision, you will not get the benefit of the decision, and you will live in the consequences of the obstacle. Hear me out. Those of you who have joined my workshop, you're well aware that there's an investment, right? So what you did is you leapt over that obstacle so that you could have the benefits of the second and third order of consequences of the decision. And for those of you who haven't, you've let that first order of consequences win the day. It happens. Human beings just can't seem to figure that out sometimes. As much as I'm a great coach and I help women overcome obstacles every single day. And a couple of men I coach one-on-one as well. You have got to be willing to move through the first order of consequences to make your life different and to have a different future. That first order of consequences will stop you every time. And then you will not have the benefit, you will not reap the benefit of the second order of consequences or the third. The first order of consequences is always something that is going to test you, cause uncomfortable, challenge your assumptions, etc. That's how it works, folks. I didn't make this up. I just know how to navigate it so that I can help others claim success because I figured it out. So I want you to understand exactly what your decision making is all about. If we can break down your decision making, you can make better decisions. And then you can make decisions about what you want your future to look like. If you don't make those decisions and you let the first order of consequences stall you and stop you, you will never reap the benefits. Please understand this. Every successful person knows this. Every successful person understands the fact that they need to go through that first order of consequences to reap the second and third. So if you've made a decision to join the Kick-Ass Career Workshop and get coached and have experts helping you navigate life in your career, you had to put an investment on the table in time and money. And you had to commit to yourself that this was going to work. That's the first order of consequences. That's a little uncomfortable, and you have to have trust. Once you get through that, then your second order of consequences, you reap the benefits of having the workshop, having the coaching, having all of the women in the workshop surrounded by you, and it feels awesome. Oh, you get the benefit of the second order of consequences. Then if you continue on that, you will have the third order of consequences, which is the amazing result that happens when you do the work and get the experts. Colleen Mary, I do not take insurance. I don't know what kind of insurance this would be, but I'm going to tell you what, you have to be the one giving yourself the insurance. This is called personal and self-responsibility. Colleen, I'm just going to call you out here for a second. If you're expecting someone else to pay the bill of your personal development, you're not going to get the result. It's just the way it is, darling. This is not something that someone else is going to take risk on. You have to take risk on yourself. Insurance is a policy so that you don't have to take the risk for yourself. And someone's going to take your money, put it in their bank to make interest on it while they wait out your risk. That's what insurance is. So I'm not about taking your money so I can make interest on it. I'm about you investing in yourself so you can reap the benefits directly. That's what we do. That's called personal responsibility, and it's called an energy exchange so that you can dive in to something that you're committed to. That's what it's all about, and it works really well. But you have to be willing to go through the first order of consequences. Yes, it's a little uncomfortable. Yep, it looks like a credit card bill, but it isn't. It's an investment in you. So many people put investments in a master's degree, a doctorate degree, a law degree, a college degree, certifications out the wazoo. And they never reap the benefits. So many women who are in our workshop are so overeducated. They just kept plowing more into that and not knowing how to move it into the marketplace to make money and to navigate their career. So if you have a big shiny treasure chest of all kinds of stuff and you're not using it in the marketplace, it does you no good. You've got to learn how to gain the benefits of your decisions and move into your power so you can leverage yourself in the marketplace. That's how your future is built. And there are obstacles, and it looks like problems and difficulties. But if you look through the problem, just like you would look through right now the problem that we have with the pandemic, look through it. Don't look at it. If you look at it, it's going to be a big-ass problem. Loss of a job. I lost my job. Okay, so what? I lost my job 6 times. Look through the problem. Get an expert to help you. Get someone who knows what the frick they're doing to help you navigate. If you don't know how to drive, get someone to teach you to drive. And then you can drive for the rest of your life. Yeah, but I don't want to pay someone to teach me how to drive. Then you're not going to drive. First order of consequences doesn't get jumped over. You don't get benefits. That's the lesson for today. Your future depends on you being able to look through the first order of consequences and to make a decision that is going to propel you to the second order and third order consequences, which are benefits. But the first order of consequences is always a difficulty. You will get stopped there if you're not savvy. You will get stopped at that first order, and your future will not get to be played out. You will keep living every single day the same damn way, and you'll be wondering 10 years from now, what the hell happened? I see it all the time. Trust me, I'm an expert. So that is your lesson for today about crafting your future. Look through that first order. Tackle it. Take it on. Say, absolutely. So that you can reap the second and third benefit. That's how decisions are made, and that's how lives are won and lost. Don't lose in life because of the first benefit, the first consequences. Get the benefit after that. I'm challenging you today on your decision making, not to be in fear or not to be scared, and not to have the consequences of your life be normalized. Because then that first consequence looks like a holy crap mountain that I can't possibly get over. Don't normalize the crap that you're putting up with. Make it a big problem for yourself so you're willing to punch through that first order of consequences. Because the benefits don't happen unless you do that. Your future depends on it. This is Kick-Ass Career Coach Mo Fall. Book your career clarity call so we can help you change your freaking life now. We do it all the time. Happy to help. Talk to you tomorrow.